one.
That face, it's so good. All right, so today what we're going to talk about is trumpet mouthpieces. This is going to be like a trumpet mouthpiece 101 about what all the different numbers and letters mean, and maybe how to pick a more, seriously, you can't do that. Maybe how to pick a more appropriate size. You need to turn the camera on him. There we go. This is what I'm looking at when I try to do this video. So if I break into laughter or something like that, you know why. Okay, so let's start with like the most popular mouthpiece. The mouthpiece that most people think of when they think of trumpet mouthpieces. The mouthpiece that almost everybody starts on is a Bach, and specifically usually a Bach 7C. What we've got with a Bach 7C, and I happen to have one here that's not in the package. The number 7 refers to the distance of the diameter of the mouthpiece. Now with Bach, the smaller the number, the lower the number, the larger this diameter is going to get. So this is a 7, you know, a 5 would be a little bit bigger still, a 1 would be a little bit, and this is not to size here, okay? So a 1 won't be like that big, that'd be a tuba mouthpiece. But they get a little larger, okay? And then the letter, in this case the C, refers to the depth of the cup. And with Bach, the way that the letters work is that C is kind of like a middle-of-the-road bowl-shaped cup. B would be deeper still, and then they don't make an A cup. But then D would be a little bit shallower, and then E would be even shallower as well. So, and the basic difference is when you have let's say the shallower the cup, your tone will be brighter, so the sound will be quite a bit brighter. There'll be more like treble frequencies, maybe a little more strident. Also, because that mouthpiece tends to be a little more efficient, sort of like a sports car, like it converts the energy from the player into the instrument more readily, which makes it easier to play faster, higher. It sounds louder because it has more of those treble frequencies. That's what a shallower cup does. It's more efficient. A deeper cup, though, will give you a darker, warmer, fuller sound. But it also, it's not nowhere near as efficient, and they're a lot more difficult to play. But it's the trade-off if you want that sound. Now the diameter sort of fits two things. Part of it is just a fit to a player, almost like a shoe size. So depending on someone's facial characteristics, they may need a certain diameter just to be able to function at all. But the other thing that diameter affects is also tone, and I guess what I would liken it to is almost like a guitar string. If you think about, you think of a guitar, there's 6 strings on it, and we can play an E on a guitar in 4 or 5 different places in the same pitch. When you play an E on the thinnest string, it's going to be real bright and clear sounding, but if you play that same octave and same pitch on like the 6th string or the 5th string, it's going to be like real warm and dark and kind of woolly, beefy sounding. It's the thickness of the string that's causing those difference in tones. It also changes scale length and everything else, but it's mainly the thickness in string. Well, this is doing the same thing with use a wider diameter. It's getting more of your face involved, more of your lips, which is kind of like the thickness of the string. So it's changing that. Now, by knowing that, you now know more than like anyone in the world should know about how trumpet mouthpieces affect it. So that's Bach. Let's go over one other company that's pretty popular. And Bach and Blessing and a bunch of other companies all use this number scheme. So it's very similar. But there's another company that's slightly different from that, and that's Schilke. And what Schilke does, you'll see with a lot of their mouthpieces, you'll see things like 12B4, 13A4A, 15. You'll see all these like lots of numbers and letters and stuff like that. Their approach, they try to be a little more scientific, and with Schilke, it's almost the exact opposite as what we had with Bach. Okay, so with Schilke, the smaller the number, the smaller the diameter of the cup, which in a lot of ways is probably a better system because I think that's more intuitive. A 6A4A is going to be a smaller diameter mouthpiece than a 14A4A. A 20A4A, which they don't make, would be larger in diameter than a 14A4A. So it's a little more reasonable, makes a little more sense. And then with the cup size, it's the opposite of Bach as well. So with Schilke, the A cup is the shallowest cup they make. Then they make a B cup, a C cup, which is what they consider their standard cup, which is going to be deeper. And then they make a D and an E as well, and those are all deeper and bigger. So the rule of thumb with Schilke, I always tell people, is like the numbers sort of, I don't know if this is politically correct, but the numbers sort of work like a bra size at that point, you know. So the larger the number, the bigger round it's going to be, and the further in the alphabet we get, the deeper the cup. There's a bunch of smiles back here that you guys can't see, but it's accurate. And as a 16-year-old kid, that stuck with me. So anyway, and mostly with Schilke, people tend to use them for the A cups and the shallower, brighter cups. Schilke is also known for having a little bit flatter rim, which can be a little more comfortable on the face, which is sort of nice as well. But that's a quick run. Oh, and the other thing with Schilke is if you see a mouthpiece like this one's a 15 where it doesn't have any other letters or anything after it, then it has just the standard C cup. That's what that one is. So, and then the other letters and numbers have a meaning as well, but that's for another day. So there you go, Trumpet Mouthpieces 101.